Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Azam bin Muhammad Latif, and today I would like to present about our group planning. Obviously, in the group, there will definitely be a leader who will guide the group members. Our group has unanimously chosen Haris Daniel as the leader for the group. Firstly, is the work distribution. The group leader will separate the task given and split the work among the group members equally according to the group members' skills and expertise. By doing so, the group member can start doing the given work properly. The next point is the project schedule development, whereby our group will do a Gantt chart, which is a table where it will show the when and what we will do throughout the task given to be completed. When we have made the Gantt chart, our group will make sure to follow all the written plans and ensure activities are complete on the time without delay. Other than that, the group planning includes scope planning. We get instruction on what we need to do for project, and we identify the required element and isolate them while working with the team efficiently. Furthermore, the group planning has budget planning, whereby our group will list what we will spend throughout this task. For example, cost for the transportation, material like paper or stationery, and subsistence. Lastly, for the group planning is the risk management. We face problem with the weather because sometimes when the weather is very uncertain and rain, sometimes because the weather is very uncertain and rain might occur. Another problem that we will face throughout this assignment is the financial problem. In order to do a site visit, we require a lot of funds. And last but not least is the problem of time. The factory that we choose to interview sometimes have a different free time on their schedule.
We will move to scheduling. What we have in scheduling is an AON and a Gantt chart. AON is activity on node diagram and a Gantt chart. The advantage of using this method is that it's very useful when scheduling and controlling large projects and straightforward concept without any complex mathematical technology, which shows the process of the entire activity during the assignment. Its purpose is to prepare the breakdown structure of a project happen. As you can see, this is first and second step. The activity and predecessor schedule. The description shows the detail about what we did during the research process happen. We have some activity that has been through along, for example, dividing a task among members, make a site visit, and presenting the presentation. For the next slide is third and fourth step, which is the schedule of the AON network and critical path analysis. This schedule will be used to make the critical path method. It displays a graphic illustration of a project as a network diagram. This is an example of an AON CPN network. This is the forward phases which begin at the starting event and work forward. All the details will help guide project management activities. The final step is a Gantt chart. The usage of Gantt chart is you can view individual tasks, their duration and the sequencing of the tasks, and view the overall timeline of the project and expected the completion date. As you see in a Gantt chart, in the first week we receive a task, and for the second week we divided the task among our group member, and for the third week we receive the site permission letter, and also we develop research about the company. When we already make a research about the company, we choose a company and make an appointment with the manager with the company to visit, and we rent a car for the trip. After site visit, we gather all the information needed and make a report and presentation in a week 12 and submit the report in the week 13.
This video I will present about the valuing on scheduling, planning and control techniques. Alright, firstly about the valuing on the scheduling. Firstly, we use Gantt chart. Our group did the project planning by using Gantt chart. We schedule the works at a specific time and we make sure the work is done before that due date. With Gantt chart, our group members could view all the work milestones to ensure the project goes on smoothly without missing any part of the work. Alright, secondly, critical path method CPM. By using CPM in our group's project, we can break down the tasks and strategize our moves to plan, schedule, monitor, or even control the project. CPM helps us to identify which tasks take the longest time to be prepared and which work we could prioritize first. The next one is AON network. We use AON network to create a flow of work that relates with each activities that we did in order to complete the project. Because of this, we could work organizedly when gathering the information and doing the report on the task according to the flow of work. Alright, the second part of valuing is the planning. There are three ways of our group value our planning. Firstly, the project schedule. Obviously, we did a project schedule so that we can determine what task needs to be done, what resources we require or need to use, and the due dates of all the tasks. With this being done, we could complete the project on time and organizedly before the due date. The next one is resources. There are many resources that we use in order to complete the project, such as the expenses of the transportation that we use to go to interview at the company, the expenses of substances, and the skills that we use to do all the tasks using softwares such as Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint. The third one is activity. There are some activities that we conducted in order to complete the project, such as designing the work, scheduling, and planning on the tasks that need to be performed. Alright, then we move to the next part, which is the valuing of the control techniques. We have three ways of the control techniques that we apply in this project. Firstly, personal observation. Each of the group members did a personal observation to manage and monitor the data that we acquired from our research and interview. With everyone in the group doing this, we can ensure all the information that we use are correct and error can be avoided. The next one is budgetary control. We control our expenses when doing the research, especially for transportation and subsistence, in order to ensure our group did not went over the budget and trouble ourselves. The third one is PERT and CPM. We use PERT and CPM method to make sure our group done the research and the project as fast as possible before the due date and without spending over the budget limit when going out for the interview at the company. With all this being done, we can ensure the project went smoothly and swiftly without any problems. Alright, that is all for my part. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, I will talk about the project control. So, firstly about this, advising the group that they should keep them update on the status of each of their tasks. Letting the group know that they should keep them informed of their progress on each of their part. Our group informing their progress in WhatsApp, our personnel in front of the leader named Haris. If it done during the work, it can determine whether the other is actually performing their duties successfully, appropriately, and without error. This can help the group avoid failure and move along more smoothly. Additionally, our group can learn more about the upcoming action for a larger portion and then more equally with the other team member to research of the shared industries. Secondly is about, if a problem arises, always have a group discussion on it. Our group has been alerting us to any issue, such as more sophisticated and tough tasks that they are unable to do. Our group have been ready to devote time to conducting joint study and debating a challenging task about the company that our group are researching, so that we can all better share our knowledge. Regular group session and individual work done outside of the group are often necessary for this to be successful.
Thirdly is ensure smooth operation of all tasks. Our group has been given deadline for finishing particular responsibility for a particular project. Such planning to the company at the appropriate moment when the company permits us to visit the location. The next step is reserve and confirm a car, like a Grab, to travel a company site visit for our group to explore their company. We are also checking the weather to see whether it will be favorable or bad, like when it might influence our group site visit. And lastly is about to make the project easier for our group to accomplish. Ask the interviewer the pertinent question. Prior to the interview, we prepare a question that will enable us to quickly complete our background study on the organization. Our crew is asking the crucial question that will help us finish our work, such as how the business is doing, how it maintains its service and management, how it keeps its people in such good health and are expert in what they do, and more. This makes it simpler for our organization to complete the assignment and the company that we study.
The first problem is getting comfortable and complacent with the amount of time allotted to finish the work. The implication is that the members of our group are content with the amount of time allotted for finishing the task. The second problem is sometimes tasks were provided for delegation but weren't completed. As a result, it slows down the process of doing the assignment. The third problem is that the data are insufficient for an interview. For instance, a proper interview question is still insufficient. The lecturer should be consulted as soon as possible. If you are still unsure about the things you have already done, such as an interview question, ask the professor a question in order to prevent doing something incorrect. First recommendation to solve the issue is strictly follow the planning on the task given. Do not delay and overlay your work, and doing meeting in high frequency weekly could improve the working environment in completing the project. The second consideration is the deadline. The term time window refers to the period of the time between when an assignment is given to be started and when it must be finished. As we did scheduling, we could ensure our groups work conducted efficiently with as less problem as possible. Last but not least, the data is safely collected. The implication is that our group info is secure and accessible to all group members somewhere like WhatsApp. Even when one group member is not present, their data stay in the online platform. It still exists and other group members can access it. With this being done, the data can be safely kept for our group to view and refer when completing our project.